What was the worst killer robot movie to the best killer robot movie? That's what we're here to find out. Okay, everybody, we got 6 Terminator motion pictures to choose from, and I'm going to give you my personal opinion on the worst all the way up to the best. So without any further ado, let's hit it. Okay, today coming in last place, in 6th place, and it sure as fuck deserves it, Terminator Dark Fate. Yes, 2019's little disaster on wheels. Let's face it, folks. Was there scenes in this motion picture that were shot better and produced better than something in maybe Genesis? Or maybe Rise of the Machines? Sure there were. But nothing will take away from the stench, the pain, the anguish of them destroying everything we cared about in the previous series in the first 5 minutes of the motion picture. You know it's not a mystery anymore. I'm not going to be ruining this for you. They killed John Connor. What the fuck were they thinking? We should have known that there was problems going into this motion picture. I had a feeling there was problems going into this motion picture. First off, you didn't see anything of John Connor, or really even Arnold, in the promotion. Not that he has to be in everything, but goddamn, he's in the movie, so you might as well use him in the promotion. It was always just the 3 girls. And there's nothing wrong with having the 3 girls in the main promotion. They're main focal points. But Jesus Christ, you knew something was wrong when you didn't see John Connor, who we were told was going to be in it, and Arnold, who we were told was going to be in it. You kind of had a feeling like, are they going to shit on the history of this series? Is there something going on? I think so. Then when Tim Miller came out and started attacking the fans, saying, oh, you're just afraid of strong female leads, let me explain something to fucking Tim Miller, okay? We have been following this franchise all the way through. It has been nothing but strong female leads all the way through. Well, okay, maybe Sarah Connor not in the first one that much, but whatever. Everybody I know was insane over Sarah Connor. Everybody. Shit, I used to fucking goddamn flip my switch every time she would take that 12-gauge pump and rack and slack it with one arm. I was like, oh, now there's a girl. And sitting there telling us that we wouldn't like a movie that was led by females is the most insulting shit I have ever heard in my life. And by us, I mean the guy fans, because that's who he really attacked when he made that statement about the men just can't handle whatever the fuck he said. It was stupid. We love female leads. We got no problem with female leads. Come on. Whether it's Sarah Connor to Ellen Ripley and the thousands in between, it doesn't mean shit to us. Just give us a good fucking movie. And you didn't give us a good fucking movie. You gave us something that smacked us in the face 5 minutes in. You killed the character we've been following through every motion picture just to say this weird reboot thing that you thought that you could get away with. It didn't work, dude. You shit on the whole franchise, you pissed off all the fucking fans, and basically the Terminator franchise is now dead. So, coming in at last place, and it will never go any higher, I don't give a fuck what they do or what they release, is always going to be Terminator Dark Fate. Okay, coming in at number 5, 2015's Terminator Genesis. Oh my God, only a step above Dark Fate. There was some cool things in there. Sure, watching young Arnie fight old Arnie. Yeah, sure, why not? Watching them take out the Terminator at the end and having the little crazy devices they built to do it. Yeah, sure, why, it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? It was interesting. But let's face facts. This was kind of like a reboot in a way. And to reboot it the kind of way they did just kind of sucked. Let's face it, the new Sarah Connor wasn't cutting it, man. She was not Linda Hamilton, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And the new Kyle Reese, listen, if you're in a future that's all fucked up, you are not supposed to look like you have a nutritionist taking you to the gym every day and working you out. Right from the beginning of the motion picture, I'm like, we are in a world of shit, and it's only going to get worse. Follow that in with taking John Connor, the character we've cared about for the goddamn thing, and making him a baddie now. So, Terminator Genesis was kind of like a 1 slap in the face compared to the 2 slap in the face that we got from Dark Fate. And that is why it's way down the list. It's number 5. And it's not going to get any better. It just is what it is. One other thing I got to say about Dark Fate, or one other thing I got to say about Genesis. One other thing. There was enough fan service tossed into that goddamn movie that made me want to regurgitate at points where everybody would just go, "Oh, remember that from the other ones? Oh, remember that from the other ones? Oh, remember." That's not going to carry a motion picture, folks. It's just not. So, Dark Fate, Genesis, can we please just flush them like they never took place? Coming in at number 4. Ooh, Nelly. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Yes, folks, and number 4 it is. Come on. Tell me you didn't know something was wrong 5 minutes into this motion picture when you seen Arnold going into the strip joint and he comes out wearing the Elton John sunglasses. Let me explain something to you. When they couldn't get Cameron back on board, when they didn't have Hamilton going into it, the writing was already on the wall. I'm not even going to get them for not getting Edward Furlong back, because let's face it, that fucking guy has a ton of problems, and his life isn't good, okay? But to sit there and give us that motion picture, which thought that dumb comedy thrown into it here and there would somehow make us like it. They forgot the fact that, yes, there was funny moments in Terminator 2, but it by far wasn't meant to make the Terminator look stupid. And this motion picture really... Ooh. About Christiana Loken. Now, in other movies I've seen her look really bad. In this one, I didn't mind her as the Terminator. I thought she was kind of okay. She's a bit of a robotic actress, so in this motion picture, she worked. It wasn't so much about that. It was the crazy story, the shit plot, the bad writing. I mean, when she's putting her little nanobots or something and they're driving fire trucks down Main Street or whatever the fuck they're doing, why didn't she just put a hex on it and let her magical powers do it? It just made no sense. And it was stupid. And it was ridiculous. And they wanted us to take a leap farther than they ever should have expected us to go. So, coming in at number 4, always will be, in my opinion, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Coming in at number 3, 2009's Terminator Salvation. You're saying that it beat Dark Fate? You're saying that it beat Rise of the Machines? You're saying that it beat... Yes. Yes, I am. I actually happen to be. Because for the first time, they tried to give us something new. They tried to give us something different. How cool was that? I mean, it wasn't just another time travel shit flick with Arnold and the crew again. If you can't give us the best Arnold, and you can't give us the best Linda Hamilton, and you can't give us the best John Connor, for the love of fuck, take us out of that area and just go someplace different. And Salvation tried. They tried to give you something different. It was the first one where there wasn't a good robot fighting a fucking bad robot at a different period in time. How can one not be thankful for that? I mean, for the love of Christ. I mean, they tried. And there's parts of it that are really good. You get to see things you didn't get to see before. You get to see the different world of Terminator you didn't see before. You get to see different robots. You got to see different ships. You got to see different parts of the goddamn mega-controlling whatever the fuck it was in charge of everything. It didn't make a difference. They tried something new. And you got to give them credit for that. And that was a hell of a lot better than the shit that they delivered to us in Part 3. Okay, folks. Here we go. Now we're into holy territory. Now we're into that special place where you're like, how do you juggle out these two megalithic, monolithic titans of the screen? Terminator 1, Terminator 2. The ones that made history and the ones that will always make history. The best of the best, folks. It's just the way it is. This is really difficult. But I'm going to have to take what is probably the superior picture and put it in second place. And that would be Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Everything about this motion picture is right. Arnold Schwarzenegger is perfect. The new badass Linda Hamilton, oh my God, I wanted to marry her in this movie, is phenomenal. Robert Patrick as the T-1000 is spot the fuck on. Little Eddie Furlong was awesome as John Connor. The action was perfect. The writing was perfect. Everything was perfect in this motion picture. Yes, it was another good guy versus bad guy from the future coming to fight it out now and kill, whatever you want to call Sarah Connor and John Connor. I get it. It was kind of the same story again. But making Arnold the good guy, having a perfect, unstoppable bad guy, the way that they made that motion picture and the way that they delivered that motion picture was spot on. So you're thinking, how can it be your number 2? Why isn't it number 1? I'm going to tell you why, folks. Because number 1 was the first, the original, and it will always hold a special place in my heart, which we'll get to in a minute. But if not for that, if I was born 30 years later and I was looking at these things retrospectively, Terminator 2 Judgment Day would have to be number 1 because it just delivered on all levels. The action, tight, concise, everything. You know, there was scenes they deleted from Terminator 2 that I just thought were phenomenal. When they start to show the T-1000 breaking down and his hand grabs the rail and he's like trying to get the shit working again and his shoes can't keep the right color and everything from where he steps, and you can see the freezing and melting and all that is starting to take a toll. I wish they would have left that in. I just thought that was amazing. But they didn't want to make this guy vulnerable, so they took it out. But it didn't matter. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of the all-time great flicks in action, sci-fi, whatever the hell you want to call it, history. Terminator 2 Judgment Day delivers on every fucking level. Okay, folks, let's just get past the obvious. Number 1, the original Terminator. Pulling no punches, no screwing around. Arnold was a bad guy in this one, and he played that shit perfectly. I mean, from the minute you seen him pop onto the screen, you were like, there's no stopping this thing. There's no stopping this thing. There was no weakness, no vulnerability. There was no rhyme. There was no reason. It just had its data programmed into it, and it was going to do what it had to do systematically and coldly. And it was terrifying. And it was one of those motion pictures, too. It came out at that time where it was like, it wasn't really too heavily into the CGI or anything like that. I don't think there's any CGI in the goddamn movie except for what you see through his eyes. This was practical effects. You had stop motion. You had puppetry. You had all kinds of shit taking place, and they used everything at their disposal to make this happen. You had action and scenes where they sat there and I remember Michael Biehn talking about how they gave you the exposition of the movie while they're on the car chase. You know, I'm Kyle Reese. He's a Terminator. He's going to kill you. Which was brilliant. During a car chase. It didn't slow the movie down. The movie kept going. It was at a perfect pace. That movie is legendary because it launched a fucking franchise that has been going on now for almost goddamn 40 years. It's ridiculous. That motion picture launched a generation of motion pictures that imitated it. And I can't tell you so many different ways, and most of them are pretty bad, by the way. It was pre-RoboCop. It was pre-Exterminator, whatever fuck. They came up with enough different versions of this thing. It was ridiculous. And I will always remember going to the motion pictures. Always. With my 2 cousins and my aunt. And we went to that Madison Theater that I told you that I love so much. The largest indoor screen in upstate New York. And it was so packed, we had to sit in the front row. This was after this motion picture made it to the last run theater. It was still packed in there. And we went and sat in the first row, because it was the only place that had that many seats together where we could all fit. And I'll never forget the scene where Arnold is cutting out his eyeball and watching my aunt almost lose her shit, throwing up 3 seats down from me. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was unbelievable. We're all just sitting there watching it. We were all kids, you know what I mean? We were just, I was like 12 years old or something like that. Or maybe I was 14. How old was I? Jesus Christ. No, I was 14. I was 14, actually. And we went and seen that, and it was fucking hilarious. It was just, watching her come unglued was just incredible. Anyway, folks, the original Terminator, for what it did to the history of cinema, for the fact that it made James Cameron a big name, for the fact that it made the entire robot from the future thing a staple in motion pictures over the next 30 years. The original Terminator 1 will always be my number 1. Is it better than Terminator 2? Probably not. Let's face reality. Terminator 2 is just so well done. I mean, and the effects were better, but Terminator 1 is the juggernaut that launched it all. It's the daddy of the series. It has to be respected. It can't be neglected. It's the first, it's the most important, and it's the one that made history. Sorry if I seem so angry at this. I was just so mad at some of those other Terminator movies. Oh, those things were shit. Anyway, everybody take care of yourselves. See you soon. Be good. Be safe. And don't take no bullshit from nobody. Bless you all. Peace.